Hello, how are we? Welcome back to the channel Up the Reds TV with me, Andy. So, this one is the pre match warm up for Liverpool versus Tottenham. We play them on Sunday, and that is going to be a 4:30 kickoff. So, before I say, please like, please share, and please subscribe to the channel. Okie doke. I was looking for 150 subscribers to the channel. We're on 147. Before the Tottenham game, we're just 3 off. So if you're watching this video for the first time, or you've been watching my videos and the shows that I've been doing, please subscribe to the channel. That would absolutely help me with this channel, and YouTube will put out my videos more than ever to give it maximum coverage on their channel. So again, thanks for that. And as you all know, I don't call you as my YouTube followers. I treat you all like if you were my mates and we were in a pub and we were discussing all things Liverpool. Right, let's get on with it then, shall we? Let's look at Spurs because we've got a lot to get through in this show. Tottenham's last 4 games, okay. They got beat at home to Newcastle 2-1. They got beat 4-1 at home to Arsenal. They got beat 2-1 away at Fulham, and at home they got beat 3-1. So played 4, won none, drawn none, lost 4, scored 4 goals, conceded 13. League standings, they played 29, won 7, drawn 8, lost 15. 39 goals, 46 against, -7. They're on 29 points. Got to talk about the midweek game, haven't we? They got hammered this week away at Atletico Madrid 5-2 in the Champions League, and it wasn't a good performance. I watched the game and the extensive highlights afterwards, and it was a bit of a shambles for Spurs, if I'm honest with you. Only made worse by Igor Tudor taking their goalkeeper off, who had never played a Champions League game at all. I think he's 22 or 23. And it was a bit embarrassing, really, that a Premier League manager would do that to a Premier League player at one of the biggest competitions in the world, if not the biggest one, possibly after the World Cup. So, but I'll touch on their interim boss in a moment or two. So Spurs are a point above the relegation zone. They've got 11 first team players out injured. The likes of Romero and Paulina, they're both out because they decided to clash heads midweek. So that'll probably be precautionary. Van der Ven, he's suspended. Bissoma, he has a problem. He might make it, he might not. Conor Gallagher has had a fever, but it's touch and go whether he plays as well. Look, they've played 11 league games in 2026. Okay, they've won 4. Sorry, they've won none, drawn 4, and lost 7. So they are sort of like, since Thomas Frank got sacked, they are in free fall, massive free fall. People are saying that they're going to get relegated. It's only a matter of time. Fans have had a fallout with the club, then the owners, the people that are hiring and firing the manager. So Igor Tudor took over from, as I say, sacked Thomas Franks. Before he came to Tottenham, he was the Juve boss. After losing 8 games in a row, he got sacked. He's now managed 4 games in the league for Spurs, and he's lost all 4. and his side have conceded 14 goals. Now, that is serious, serious stuff. That the players didn't want him, the supporters didn't want him. They wanted a different interim manager to come in. Look, it's safe to say he won't be the manager possibly after the Liverpool game, or maybe a bit longer, maybe after the Madrid game, return leg. But he's this interim manager will get sacked. I've never heard of an interim manager getting sacked, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, so they are in a dire strait, and we need to make sure we capitalise on their situation. So, having said all that, this should be a game that Liverpool should go out and get the 3 points. It's as simple as that. But my question to you guys is, which Liverpool team is going to turn up? The one that lost the league game at Wolves, the side that won the FA Cup tie at Wolves, or the team that lost in the Champions League? I mean, it really is one of these where, on paper, look, we didn't play well against Galatasaray. Um, Regardless of what you personally think, my personal opinion is that we were, after 6 minutes, they scored. We had no clue, absolutely no clue. And if you look at me post match and that, you'll know what my thoughts were about that. So yeah, it's it's one of those. Look, Tottenham has still got good players, but they're not playing for the manager, and they are certainly not. It looks like they are not bothered what's happening at the club, and the supporters are probably preparing themselves for Championship football, and it's all down to the owners. Yeah, there it is. So, Slot's press conference today. Asked about Ali, he said he's with the physio. Hopefully, he will train today, um, and he will speak to him as well. If not, he's going to be back today. He'll be back against Galatasaray. He says it's a small issue that doesn't need too much attention, but he'll speak to him today. So, my interpretation of that, he won't be available. I will be surprised. I've not seen the training videos today or the photographs. I normally get to see them before I do this to give my opinion. So, on that, then on that evidence, I don't think he will feature. But I'm quite happy for Gio Mamadashvili. I thought he did okay the other night. The goal wasn't his fault, so I'm quite happy with that. Asked about Chiesa, he said, yeah, Chiesa's back training. He felt ill the day before they flew out, and the precautionary is to not make him travel. You know, the reason why you don't travel if you are feeling ill, you've got a bug, is that the aircon on aeroplanes. You can pick up all sorts. You know yourselves, don't you guys? You go out on holiday and you don't feel so well first couple of days, and the sun burns all that off, and then you come back and it takes a bit longer. So yeah. Isaac, he said he's still with the rehab team. He didn't say if he's on the grass or anything. He says he's just with them. So yeah. So he was asked the question about the performances, league and Champs League, and this is what he said. He says we have a point to prove after losing the last league game and the Champs League game. He said playing at Anfield we will always find it special. So on the business end of the season, what does he want from the team? He says, I want to see every player give maximum effort in the training sessions and in the games we are playing from now and the end of the season. This is the aim for me, and it should be the aim for the players. I'm 100% sure that this is the aim for the players, but you need a bit of luck. And the margins are small in the Premier League, and we have to fight for these to make them bigger and bigger. That is the only way to be maximum for us. We're still competing in two cups, the FA Cup and the Champions League. Look, the maximum effort should always be the case anyway, regardless if it's the first game of the season, the Boxing Day fixture, any Champions League game. So is he telling me that the players aren't giving him maximum effort in the training sessions and then going on into the games? So yeah, I found that a bit of a strange thing for him to say. Um, he said quite a bit as well, about Gravenberg's contract, being a young player. Look, he signed, and we've signed him for his peak years at the club, um, and things like that. And he said Liverpool sign young players for that reason only. And he said we keep them in their peak years, and that's what they want to do. So um, he mentioned Rio Ungamoa, saying he's ready, but we have to be careful, and he will get some game time, um, and we have to look after him. Don't be over reliant on him as such. Which I agree with in a way, but when your first choice left winger stroke is not up to the playing um, as well as he could, you've got to be utilising the players that you've got in the squad, and Onslaught hasn't done that this season. He's not. He's tried to keep the same people going. And then he mentions burnout. Then he mentions they've played too many games. They've not rested, and things like that. So yeah. So my team. Um, it'll totally be different to Onslaugh's team. I'm going with Mamardashvili in goals, saying that Ali's not going to make it. He might be saving him for the Galatasaray game. Joey Gomez right back, Kanate and Virgil van Dijk in the centre. Um, this morning I put down Robbo to go left back, and then I've had a bit of a talk with myself, just thinking, is it good to have Robbo in the game on Sunday, or is it good to have Robbo in the game on Wednesday against Galatasaray? So I've switched it back to Kirkes. So you tell me who should play left back. Okay, I've gone for Ryan Gravenberch and Jones and Slobbersley, the three in midfield. Give Maka a rest. I've gone for Frimpong on the right hand side. I've gone for Ekatike, and I've gone for Wirtz. Now, Wirtz is not working on the left hand side. Okay, so Galatasaray exposed us massively on the left hand side in midweek, and we need to prepare for them in this game. Old school, I would have gone 4-4-2. I would have had Ekatike and Wirtz up front, and Frimpong on the right, as I've mentioned, Jones on the left, Gravenberch and Slobbersley in the middle. We need to beat Tottenham Hotspur. A draw is not a good result. I know we're only a point or two off third place, but because of what's happened to Tottenham, and they are in absolute free fall, we need to take advantage of this. I would have thought Slot would have said in his press conference that we we need the fans behind us, and he hasn't done. Um, if we beat Tottenham, do you know that's going to be? It was mentioned in the press conference by a journo. It would be Liverpool's 1,500th home win in the top flight, and that is by quite a margin as well by anybody in the history of the top league. Liverpool are there flying high. That would be great. I know when we played them last season, it was they scored first, didn't they? Was it Solanke? And then we put the afterburners on after that and confirmed our Premier League champions title, solidified. But yeah, look, I was worried when we played West Ham. We beat West Ham, didn't we? Um, and West Ham were getting a bit of inform going on. There's no easy games in the Premier League. They're all close. I've been talking to people in a couple of group chats that I'm in, just for Reds. They are saying it's. Some are saying it's going to be a 5-0. Tottenham aren't going to score. Look, Tottenham are going to score. They've got the likes of Solanke up front, Simmons, um, and a couple of others. And we are fragile. We become fragile all of a sudden in the last 3 games. We're not solid enough, so they will score against us. That's for sure. I can't see us shutting them out because we allow teams to have chances of the way we are. So yeah, that's my team. You tell me what team it should be. Onslaught probably pick Gakpo. He'll probably pick Salah. But the thing is, those two um, are not going to put the effort in doing a high press. It will be easy to play out with us, and that's what Igor Tudor does. He's played so many different formations in his 4-game tenure. He's played 3 at the back. He's gone 3-5-2. He's gone 3-4-3. Then he's reverted back to a 4. He has no idea what formation these players are used to. And if you remember, I always say to you guys, muscle memory. And he's come in and he's ripped whatever they've been taught to do from the beginning of the season from Thomas Franks, and he's telling them to do things that they're not used to, playing players out of position, and that's called muscle memory. If it's one of my favourite phrases, as you know. So it's going to be interesting what team he picks, and he will have to go for it because he can't just sit back, because that's not in his nature. He wants his players to play from the back. He hasn't got any other way of doing it. His team hasn't done low blocks, and you know what Slot is about low blocks. That's one of his excuses. His team cannot undo low blocks. So yeah, and we need to convert our chances, and we need to convert them early. We cannot come in at half time 0-0 against Spurs. We need to have the crowd singing about something. I'm surprised he never mentioned that we need the supporters as much as ever in this game and the game on Wednesday against Galatasaray. So I'm ending this one here. I will do a post match when the game's finished. It will be out around about 7, between 7 and 8. Um, Thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. And as I said at the beginning, if you're watching these videos, and I know lots of you are watching these videos but not subscribing to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Let's get over 150 before we kick off against Spurs on Sunday. So yeah. So incidentally, if we do win, we've got a good chance of possibly getting into third place because Manchester United play Aston Villa at um, at home. So Villa are on a bit of a free fall in the Premier League. However, they did get a 1-0 win midweek. United have rested all week after their loss, their last game loss, and Newcastle are playing Chelsea. So we need to take advantage because we don't want the results to go against us. Okay, as I said, thank you very much for watching. Okay, I'll do the post match fallout on Sunday. I'll speak to you guys then. Let me know your thoughts. Up the Reds.